Chapter 1050. Jude stood and saluted Wilbur. He bowed and said, "Sir, I've never met someone with your integrity before. I'm thoroughly impressed." His uncles could not wait to approach the historical halberd. They were dying to try it. Jude glanced at them, then looked at Wilbur and said, "However, my ancestor said that you will be his inheritor. This item belongs to you now, sir. We won't have any disagreements." "Jude, what are you saying?" asked Rowan in a disagreeing tone. The others' uncles were also very dissatisfied. They glared at Jude. The historical halberd was the ultimate treasure of their family. Moreover, Wilbur was willing to return it to the Cooks, so they wondered what was wrong with Jude. However, Jude scoffed coldly and said, "We've been blinded by greed. Let me ask you this. Which one of us deserves the historical halberd? Even if we have it, we are old, and we also don't know the cultivation basics. What's the use of having it? Won't it only cause our downfall?" His uncles were instantly stunned. It was true that they did not have any foundation for cultivation. They would need to spend a lot of years to achieve a little, even if they have the inheritance. They seemed so weak with the historical halberd. Their family would be eradicated before they could cultivate, and the historical halberd would fall into the hands of someone else. It was disastrous for them. They instantly piped down when they thought of that, and they went back to their seats with heavy footsteps. Jude said, "Sir, the historical halberd is yours. There's no need for a discussion. I'll also pay you the agreed $200 million. Please accept it, sir." "Oh." Wilbur was slightly surprised. "However, I have a small favor to ask. Please allow me to do so, sir," said Jude while he bowed. Wilbur glanced at him and said nonchalantly, "Go ahead. I would like to hire you, sir. You will be paid $200 million annually. All you have to do is help the Cooks when we're in trouble, sir," said Jude. Wilbur looked at Jude and asked slowly, "Is that something you can decide alone?" "I'm the head of the family, and the family CEO, so yes," replied Jude loudly. Rowan and the others finally figured it out. They were indeed not worthy of the inheritance. The path of cultivation was no longer an option for them. Moreover, their ancestors said to leave the historical halberd to Wilbur. They were worried that Wilbur would be angry if they kept arguing. His terrifying power could easily kill them like he was pinching ants. They wondered why they were so audacious. They had cold sweat all over when they thought about it. They all stood and bowed to Wilbur. They said, "Please accept it, sir. We'll serve you from now on, and we won't regret it." Since they could not become cultivators, they could hire a godlike cultivator to look after the Cooks. They would not need to be afraid of anyone from then on. Wilbur killed a sanctuary-level cultivator with a punch, after all. He battled their ancestor and he won. He also had an intense battle with Debbie and her dark underlord, and he won. An expert like him was rarer than a rare jewel. It would be a shame for them to not seize the opportunity. Wilbur chuckled because they were in agreement. He said, "In that case, I'll accept the job. Just call me from now on. I'll ensure the safety of your family." "Thanks, sir." They bowed at the same time and they looked overjoyed. Wilbur retrieved the historical halberd and tossed it into the demiplane. The Cooks watched in a daze. Wilbur said, "I'm heading back to attend to some matters then." He needed to go back immediately to process the power of the crystal sternum, and he needed to investigate the secrets within the historical halberd. It was major for his cultivation, so he did not want to delay. Sir, how about you rest here for the night? We'll gather the family to greet you before you go." "How about it?" asked Jude. Wilbur did not want to say yes, but it was midnight, and there were no train tickets left, so he nodded in agreement. Jude and the others were overjoyed. They immediately arranged the grandest guest room for Wilbur. Wilbur entered the room and closed the door. He entered the demiplane.